Welcome to another episode of Take a Bite out of South Florida. I'm here in Delray Beach at one of my favorite restaurants on the Avenue, Dada. And it's actually one of the historic homes here in Delray Beach, the Terramore House. This house that we're in right now is over 100 years old. And Dada has been here in Delray for over 25 years, about 25 years, and it is a staple here in Delray. So I'm really excited to be here. And I'm really excited to introduce my guest. And we have a little bit of a different conversation today than the normal guests and conversations that we have here on Take a Bite out of South Florida. I have Chris Pumo here, who is the owner and founder of Skyline Analytics. And Skyline Analytics he's going to tell us a little bit about his business, which helps the restaurant industry when it comes to things like data and numbers and finances and all the things that scare me.
Don't let it be scary.
And because we're going to be talking about money and numbers and data and things that I really don't know very much about, and Chris is totally going to school me today. But because we're talking about things that, like I said, scare me, I need a cocktail, and Dada delivered. This I'm drinking, it's called a Divine Gesture, and it features one of my favorite aperitifs, Munion's Pawpaw. Oh, and it is divine. It's like the perfect name. It makes sense. And there's a cute little quote on the cup, on the glass, from Ernest Hemingway that says, "Courage is grace under pressure." I like that. It's a good one. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that in the back of my head. But now that I have my cocktail and I'm ready to talk numbers with Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
So tell me first, give me the elevator pitch. What is Skyline Analytics?
So we specialize in taking the data, which every restaurant is collecting, and leveraging it for opportunities. And those opportunities might be helping them with their labor, might be helping them with their cost of goods sold, pricing strategy. The goal here, and it's always been my goal, is to help, and started out with small businesses, small restaurant groups, helping them do better with their numbers, use those numbers to help them be more profitable and ultimately grow. Right? We have restaurant groups that started at 15 that are now at 62. I mean, that's incredible, right? It's just the growth that you can have.
When you say 16 now, it's 62 locations? Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it is possible. And with the restaurant space, it's just an exceedingly difficult industry. I mean, in some cases, restaurants, if they're putting 10% of their profit, of their revenue down to the bottom line, that's good. You're doing well. But my goal is to make that 10, 12, or 15, or 18, help them grow that. Because every year, what's the number one controllable cost in the restaurant? It's probably the labor and the cost of goods sold. They've got a lot to fight against. And so kind of Skyline is here to help them. It's like a little bit of my wife calls it a bleeding heart, Robin Hood mentality. I want to help these restaurants do better.
Yes. And the restaurant industry really is, there are so many moving parts. And on the surface, you immediately think food and beverage, customer service, marketing. But the restaurant, the numbers, the finances, like all of that is so important to making a restaurant successful. And it's things that the average person doesn't really know much about or understand. How did you get started with something like this?
Well, I started out, oddly, if we go way back, I started out as an engineer, then got into accounting and finance. And one of my last jobs that I was in-house at a company was iPic Entertainment. And I was working with both restaurant and movie theater.
Love the iPic.
It got very complicated very fast because they were essentially running multiple businesses under one roof. And that scenario, whether it's multiple businesses under one roof or multiple locations, like I was describing before, there's just so much information. And you touched on it with it's about customers, it's about customer service. I want the owners and the operators to focus on that. If I can just put the rest of the right numbers in front of them, so they don't have to worry about it. Nonsense. Yeah. They know what to look at just on a daily basis, then they can get back to doing what they need to do best, because it's tough, right? It's really tough out there. And we want to make sure that they're empowered by their numbers, that it's supposed to be a profit center. It's not supposed to be something that you need a cocktail for necessarily.
But you do need cocktails in the restaurant.
Sometimes.
What are some of, like you said earlier, you had a restaurant that went from 16 to 62 locations. Give me some tangible success stories from your clients that you've worked with.
I think the number one thing is labor analytics. So with respect to labor, it's very easy to take your eye off that ball by putting together what we call predictive labor systems, actually using the data from the restaurant to tell them how they should staff next week. It analyzes all the data from the business for all the preceding weeks and months and years. It can bring in things like weather. It can bring in things like events, like if you have an event down the street, ultimately saying, hey, next week, this is your optimal schedule. This is the schedule you should run. And then it tracks the manager against that. And it gives them constant iterative feedback.
So this is a platform that the restaurant signs into and puts information in, and it gives them...
Ultimately, we pull all the data from the restaurant, and then, yes, we deploy back to them dashboards and reports that show them how to schedule, how to monitor that labor. And so, like one of our groups, they have about 62 restaurants. We're saving them north of about $1 million a year.
Wow.
On their labor. And
because of this platform that's telling them how many staff members to bring on.
But very specifically too, like it'll tell them like a Tuesday at 2:00, you need 3 servers, 1 hostess. Like it's that specific. And I've found over time that that's the only way to really help a restaurant operator. Because if I say you should use 100 hours next week, they're gonna be like, okay, like that's just like a bucket of hours.
Like super specific.
You're super specific with the operator. You give them super specific feedback. They respond, and it, like I said, the word I use is iterative. It like iteratively trains them to do better and better every day. And I plot the graphs, and it just labor usage goes down, down, down. But the key is to the yin and the yang of it. Also be monitoring customer satisfaction at the same time.
Right.
So net promoter score. That's incredibly important. If they don't have a net promoter score, we can look at check averages. If check averages are dipping, maybe you didn't get that 1 extra cocktail. That that person, the server didn't come back and ask them. Or tip percentages. If tip percentages are going down. So as we're helping you with the labor, we're monitoring these proxies for how happy the customer is to make sure that we don't over squeeze.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to do that. So my goal is to maximize profitability. Sometimes that's cutting labor down a little bit, but sometimes that's also figuring out how to sell them 1 more cocktail, how to get 1 more appetizer, 1 dessert, whatever it is, 1 more upsell. That 1 more upsell is a big deal.
Yeah.
And you can only turn so many tables in an evening.
Mm-hmm. It's like so interesting how your mind works in all of this, because my mind does not work this way. You talk to me about marketing all day long, but this aspect of the restaurant industry or hospitality in general is so new to me. I'm just like fascinated. So when did you start this business?
We started literally like 20 minutes before COVID.
Oh,
no,
wow.
It was really great. So
that's lucky.
It was like October. I had pre-signed a couple different restaurant groups. And then in January, my wife goes, "Are you worried about this thing in China?" And I'm like, "I don't even know about this thing in China." And then, of course, the world shut down like a month later.
Yeah, it was like my birthday when that happened, and it really sucked.
So what ended up happening was all these clients that called us up to do labor analytics and labor optimization, stuff like that, they said, "Oh, Chris, crap, we need to go get PPP money, and we need to plot out and forecast our cash flows to survive."
Yeah, so you started at a time when it was exactly what the restaurants needed.
So we pivoted. So all of our engagements went to cash flow management and reporting. And to this day, I'd say about 60 to 70% of our clients still get a 13-week cash flow forecast from us every morning, because it just became so important during COVID, focusing on that cash and that cash flow. So they still want to see it. That's great. It basically created another vertical within our business of things we do. It's always important to monitor the cash. So I'm just really proud that we made it through that period. And then, of course, as soon as the restaurants started opening again, people started coming back. There was tons of work to do.
So pretend that you're talking to a restaurant owner right now. What is your pitch? Like, how do you grab the restaurant owner and really how do you get them to sign with you?
Ultimately, and I'm going to use the words, visual is usually, pictures worth 1,000 words. So when they see our platforms, they're just like, wow, nothing like that exists in the world. But the words or the buzzwords I'm looking for is like visibility into their data. If they're complaining about, well, I just don't have visibility into this aspect of my business, or I asked for this report and it takes 2 days for someone to get it to me, or stuff like that. Those are the ding, 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 like, wow, we can like really help you with that. We can give you the visibility into the different aspects of your business. And then ultimately, the goal is to save you money.
Yeah, and that sentence right there
is enough to sort of just say, look, I might, what do they say? Put your money where your mouth is, put your mouth where, I don't know. basically, I don't think we end up saving 10 times what we charge. Like, honestly, my wife keeps telling me to raise our rates. Point is, I'm just out there to help people. And so if I can help them with their numbers, with things they already have, then it's a win-win for everyone.
I love that. And that's what we want. We want to support our local restaurants.
Yeah.
Do you work with national clients, or are you mainly like a local?
We're mostly national,
actually.
And that was part of the impetus to come talk to you guys, because since inception of the business, it's been my reputation that has gotten us clients. It's been word of mouth. These guys all go to the same conferences. They all meet at the same places. They say, "Oh, you have a problem with your reporting? You should talk to Chris." And so we've really worked word of mouth until now. In the last year, I've made a concerted push to start to get our name out there more doing stuff like this, because I want to help more people. The word of mouth thing is great, but we have a lot of Texas chains, a lot of California. I went to college in California, so just a lot of that came into play. A couple of restaurant groups out of Tampa, but we're national. We're absolutely, data's everywhere. We can pull it.
That is a universal. It's everywhere. And you need help with it. So, is there anything else out there that exists like what you're doing?
Not this perfect synergy of it, right? So I'm a finance guy running a data analytics company. So my perspective on it isn't just, hey, you need this report. Here, let me put this report in front of you. It's, how do I help you? How do I advise you? And what does this report mean? It's about telling the story behind the data. So sure, there are other IT companies out there that could create you a report. There are other finance companies out there that could advise you on your numbers if they were clean and easy to look at. But this synergy, this thing that we've put together here, it's a beautiful thing. I think we really have put together a beautiful thing here at Skyline that is very, very unique. I don't find a lot of pure play competitors out there.
That's good, because it seems like it's such a niche, like what you're doing, and restaurants need to know about it. They need to.
And they don't have a perfect solution. Everyone is always looking for that perfect solution. And they come to me and they ask, like, Chris, what's the perfect point of sale system?
There's nothing. It doesn't exist.
What's the perfect accounting system? Doesn't exist. But you take all those, and I call Skyline the icing on the cake. You put that on top of all of it. We solve all the little things that are wrong with each one when we bring it all together.
It's all so interesting. It's fascinating. And and your numbers that you have from your previous clients over the years, the numbers speak for themselves. So
what actually is really interesting about that, or interesting to me, I know it's all nerdy stuff, is because we're working with so many different restaurant groups, and in fact, we are working with other industries. If we see a good idea over there, or we create a really cool thing over here, we can transplant that to other places. So that labor analytics system I was talking about, we actually already also deployed that to the fitness space. And I know this is a restaurant podcast, but the idea that you could optimize your labor with predictive scheduling, all of a sudden gym clients were coming back to us and saying, well, how many trainers do I need on a Tuesday at 2:00? And I'm like,
it absolutely works in that space.
So I see things from clients sometimes. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Or they ask me to build something. I'm like, oh, that would actually really help this person over there. I do the same pitch with my staff when I'm interviewing people. I say, you're going to get so much experience working with us because you're going to see all of this. You're going to see all these different, you're not working for one restaurant group. You're working for all of these groups. So you're going to get such a broad experience, and that broad experience comes back to helping people with it.
Yeah, that is interesting that it's restaurants, hotels, fitness, even like retail. I mean, you're employing
we do it in
all of those.
Manufacturing.
So manufacturing,
we do all of it, because I mean, restaurants is super tough, because I think of restaurants like high-speed manufacturing, because you're making that plate of food and certain ingredients go on there, and the price of that food changed when it came in the door, and manufacturing is slower. I have to make that camera. I have to make that widget. So yeah, that is one of the most challenging things that restaurant clients come to me on. It's, how do I fix my cost of goods sold? And the first thing is, how do I figure out how much it costs to make that drink, and whether it's being overpoured or mixed improperly. Same thing with the plate of food, is being overserved, overcooked, how much waste is there. These are really complicated.
Food waste.
It's complicated, really complicated. And smaller restaurant groups don't have the capacity to figure that out.
Yeah.
But you could hire us for 5 hours a week or 5 hours a month, whatever your wherewithal to pay is, and we'll we'll chip away at it and we will pay for ourselves very quickly.
You're right with like smaller restaurant groups, especially these mom and pop that, they know the restaurant, the food, but they might not know like as much about
and they got a bookkeeper.
They
got a bookkeeper or an accountant who's never going to do what we do.
Right. No, it's totally, it's different.
It's different.
Bookkeeping and accounting is one thing.
It's looking back. That's what that is. That's recording what's already happened.
Right. What you're doing is looking forward and making sure that the numbers make sense moving forward and 100%. Help you save in the long run and make more money.
Yep.
And that's what everyone wants to do.
100%.
Save money and make more of it.
Yep. And build that next restaurant. Share your vision with the next
keep growing
area. Yeah. Keep growing. And they put so much passion into their work. I'm just thankful that they let me, through my passion for my work, help them.
It's nice to, like you're passionate about this. So it's nice to do what you're passionate about.
Yep.
And you work, did you say you work with your wife or she?
Yes, she's our chief operating officer.
Great. So family business.
Yep. She keeps me honest. She makes sure people get paid.
She's the most important person then.
Yeah.
That's the most important.
She's the most, and she comes up with all the swag. And she's very responsible for all these things.
I like the logo.
Thank you.
That is cool. So, what is it? Where did you come up with the name?
Skyline Analytics. Skyline Boulevard is actually a road that goes across the top of the Santa Cruz Mountains and out in California. And when I was in college, when I wanted to clear my head, I used to hop on my motorcycle and go up there and ride across the top of the Santa Cruz Mountains. And so when I was looking for a business name, you know how hard it is to come up with a business name? There aren't.
I mean, I don't
ridiculous.
know how people do it.
Yeah, because everything's taken. That's the problem. Like everything's already taken.
Yeah, so they also have to come up with something
You got to come up with something new.
That makes sense.
And then the minute I did the research, Skyline Analytics was free. I was like, it meant so much to me. That was a very happy, important part of my life. And so it was just meant a lot to me. So it was, my wife wasn't 100% sold. I was sold the minute I thought of it. And I was like, that's the one.
Then I love that.
I was like, that's the one.
Yeah, you have to feel confident about it.
Yeah.
There's some names out there of companies. It's just like, they're just, it's whatever.
It's hard.
It's good when there's like a meaning. It means something to you.
Oh, yeah, it means something to me.
You put your heart and soul into the business, so it's obvious. But I'm going to pivot a little bit, and we're going to talk a little bit more about restaurants in general.
Good.
Are you a big restaurant person? Do you like to go out to eat?
I like to eat a lot. I'm Italian, so I definitely like eating.
So where are some of your favorite local restaurants?
Well, obviously, this one.
Have you eaten here?
Yes.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's really good.
What do you like? When I eat here, I order the same thing every time. Mm-hmm. I always get the short rib.
Oh, okay.
And the dates. The Dada dates. What do you get here?
Well, see, they've got the vegan squash on here.
Are you vegan?
I'm not vegan. I'm lactose intolerant. So I can easily go for anything.
I don't eat dairy either, so.
Yeah, well, I'm much happier when I don't.
Yeah, most people are.
Yeah, it's delightful. Absolutely delightful.
Yeah, the food here is fantastic. I really and I love the atmosphere. I really wanted us to record outside today, but South Florida summer does not allow for that. We would have been sweltering and sweating.
We get those winter months.
We're looking at the outside. Yeah, it's so beautiful here. What about some other? Are you local to Delray or where?
Yeah, I live right here in Delray.
Cool. So what are some other Delray restaurants that are at the top of your list?
I'm a big sushi guy.
Oh, me too.
So there is a little one just north of where I live called Khao, Khao.
Ooh.
It is good. Yeah,
I haven't been there.
And I'm a little bit of a sushi snob, so it's pretty decent.
I haven't been there. Is that West Delray?
It is Linton and Jog, north of Linton.
That's West. That's west to me. Yeah.
Yes, west.
I haven't been there. I'll have to put that on my list. I'm a big sushi person. I love sushi, and I love the there's so many omakase places out now. Mm-hmm. Have you been to Taki or? No. There's are you familiar with omakase?
Yes.
There's some really good spots here, like Taki, and then Sunset Sushi in Boca is also really good. I love sushi. Now I'm hungry for sushi.
I eat it at least twice a week.
I probably eat it. It's like my go-to for takeout.
Me too.
Like when I want to order food at home, I'm typically like a sushi and pad thai kind of person. That's like my go-to for takeout at home. But it's good. All right, so sushi, but Italian. So do you like to go out for Italian, or do you cook?
I cook. See, that's the thing. Growing up Italian, you become a little bit of a
you're a
snob.
Yeah, you're a sauce snob. I know. I'm not Italian, but I hear that from everyone who is. It's like they have their grandma's sauce recipe that they've made forever.
Do is you go out and you have anything that doesn't have red sauce on it. So like a veal marsala, for example.
Okay.
I would never make a veal marsala at home. That's like really hard. There's like a lot to it.
Yeah.
But I'll go out and I'll have somebody make it for me,
Right.
and then I'm staying away from the red sauce.
I had a chicken marsala last night. I went to a place in Boca, an Italian restaurant in Boca that is relatively new. And it was so good. And they even made, because I'm gluten and dairy free,
Okay.
and they made this chicken marsala gluten and dairy free. And that sauce was so delicious.
That's been the challenge for me because I didn't realize there was dairy in marsala, and there is. And so I've only been dairy free, like lactose intolerant, for like a couple of years. So I'm still figuring it out.
I don't know what they did, but it was delicious.
I would love.
It was so good. It was so good. And I'm actually not a big Italian food person. I mean, I've been to Italy and I loved the food when I was in Italy.
Oh, well, come on.
That's the, I love the food there, but I'm just not I don't crave it. I don't go out. Janine's booing me in the background. I have Italian producers of the podcast I'm shamed. I don't know. It's just like, but I'm not Italian. I didn't grow up Italian.
I like to go get things that I'm not going to make for myself.
Yeah.
That's like, and that's a big pleasure of it.
I feel like a lot of people are like that. They're like, if I can make it at home, why am I going to spend $30 at a restaurant to get it? But I don't know. We have a lot of good restaurants in South Florida.
We do.
We're pretty lucky. We have a lot of really talented chefs, really great restaurant groups, and there's a lot of restaurants that have been opening from other cities that are coming from, like, their flagships are in Chicago or New York or wherever. I know we have a new Tex-Mex place opening up that I believe they're from Connecticut, and then we had the place I was at last night is a Chicago restaurant. So our little Boca Del Rey area is like really, it's blowing up.
We have a very high like restaurant count per cap.
And
like, a lot of people.
On the topic of food, we have the Dada dates coming from Chef Daniel here at Dada.
Hi, guys.
This is like Dada's signature dish forever.
One of the many.
Explain it.
Would love to. It's kind of like South Spain meets like North Africa. Like dates.
We're gonna have you start over.
Yeah.
And talk into the mic.
Would love to.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of like Spain meets like North Africa, right? So dates, kind of like a sweet and salty play. So sweet dates and salty bacon with sherry gastrique, which is like it's like making a simple syrup, but instead of using water with sugar, using vinegar. So sweet and salty and sour with manchego cheese, which is sheep's milk cheese, and so stuffed with goat cheese and wrapped in bacon with the gastrique and a manchego cheese salsa with Marcona almonds. Nice and fatty almonds, nice and good.
I love Marcona almonds.
Nice good oils. Exactly.
They're so good.
Yeah, so a little sweet and salty
My
play.
favorite dish here. I love it.
Very popular.
Thank you. I apologize, but I'm gonna take a bite just for our listeners so they can be jealous that I'm eating it and they're not.
Yes, you have to tell the people about it.
They're so good. They're so good. What my favorite thing, there's so many food events here in Delray and Boca and Palm Beach County in general, and Dada, whenever they participate in any of these food tasting events, they always bring the dates. And I'm always up at their table like 10 times grabbing a date. Goat cheese, manchego, the crispy bacon, and then the sweet date and the goat. Oh. And that sherry gastrique. It's so good. These things are like candy. We'll get back into the Skyline Analytics. What are some of your top tips for restaurants when it comes to, saving money, becoming more successful? How do they take advantage of your platform? What are some of the best practices to really get the full benefit of what you're offering them?
So I think of data analytics and data as like a journey, right? And so as soon as we can get access to their data, the first thing, as we discussed before, that we'll look at is we will look at the labor, right? There is just such dramatic overuse in that area that we can certainly move the needle quickly. And everybody likes a quick win, right? So we quickly attack that. And then we start to then break apart the cost of goods sold. And then, of course, after that, it's really the entire profit and loss statement. So it could be anything from laundry and linen, like napkin usage and like the laundering of that. It can be anything from supplies, napkins, utensils, whatever it is. We're going to go all the way down each one of those line items. As a small restaurant or as a restaurant that maybe isn't even ready for us, I love, as you can tell, I love talking about this stuff. Like, I'm always open to a conversation. There are many people that I have just talked to and had them call me, and I've just given them sort of tips about ways that they could start running certain reports and analyzing them. Usually, of course, that leads to us helping them ultimately. But, I want to help them as much as I can, even if they're not quite ready for us. So, again, labor usage, cost of goods sold strategy, also pricing strategy. It's amazing how often the clients don't realize that we haven't taken a pricing change in 4 years. It's like, well, your costs went up, your labor went up, everything else went up. You have to pass along. I know we don't want to, but you have to pass along some of that to a customer. And then finally, I would say understanding your customer. So we can take the client's data and supplement it with external data. And by that, I mean, and this is in your realm, the marketing realm, who is my best customer? Who comes in
Who's your
over
audience?
and over and over again? We often are so surprised by who we find out your ideal customer is. Maybe your forever customer, the customer who's just been coming to you, 3 times a month for the last 5 years. Well, if we can isolate who that person is, find out the areas where that type of person lives, you can then start using that to target your marketing dollars back at those areas to bring in more people like that. So I get really excited about customer level analytics because it's usually not the first thing we attack. It's usually the thing that we get to after kind of knocking down those other things I said.
Right. But that's a really important part because without the customers, keeping the customers happy and
it's about that efficiency too, right?
Yes.
A lot of people are just throwing marketing dollars out there hoping that it'll make an impact. It's like you got to be very, very precise with that.
Yes, targeting ads and making sure that you're really speaking to the right person.
Yep, the right people in the right places. And, I've seen, at least I saw with my clients, that digital marketing just kind of broke in the beginning of last year. Like everything that worked stopped working. And Facebook changed their algorithm, all sorts of things changed, it just stopped working. So then we had to get really precise, like scalpel level precise of, nope, it's, men in their 30s, it's women in their 20s. It's, but they live in, their household is usually 3 people or something, just figure out who they are. You can figure out who they are. You can then market to similar people.
Mm-hmm. And when you mentioned the Facebook algorithm, do you know anything about that? You're a data guy.
Yeah, well, I mean,
can you help me break the Instagram and Facebook algorithm?
Break it or fix it?
Not break it, fix it. Get through it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Understand it.
I don't know if I can fix it. I mean, other than giving you the right criteria to put into it. That's the thing is it used to work a lot better. And then people didn't realize, I think it was about like August of 2023. That's when it broke. People didn't realize it. And so if they were spending $5,000 a month and they were putting in these criteria, they just kept doing that. And it
wasn't working.
The leads didn't come. The conversions didn't come.
When you say it broke, what do you mean?
They changed something on the back end of it.
And it's just not.
It's just never been the same.
Yeah.
And so
we see it. I don't really work with Facebook too much, but with Instagram, I see it. It's constantly changing. Constantly. I'm not seeing other content that I should be seeing. All I see is ads. Or people aren't seeing my content and that are my target audience, that should be what they see when they scroll. It's so hard. It's so hard to understand how to get content out there. And
I noticed it like almost the minute it happened. Basically in end of September, I was meeting with the CEO and he was just like, why are we not getting the customers and the conversions? And I started looking at the data. I'm like, you need to pause all your campaigns. You need to stop them until you can figure out.
All the meta ads and all of that stuff.
It all just, it was dramatic how much, it was literally August of 2023, how dramatic it was. And then so we had to slowly dip our toe back in with small spend. But if I hadn't identified it, he would have just kept throwing money at it.
And it wouldn't be doing anything.
Probably would have thrown more at it thinking, I just need a few more leads. It's like, no, it's
So have you been able to, help your customers kind of combat that and figure out a workaround?
Mostly through the targeting, right? Really being specific about the targeting, because if you're not specific, they're just going to throw every garbage lead at you in the sun. You think you're doing well because you're getting 10,000 leads, but
then they're not the right people.
They're not converting. They're not
buying
anything. They're just, it's a $300 gym membership, and for some reason we're advertising it to a 20-year-old who lives 30 miles away, he's never going to come.
Right. It's not the right target audience. It's so interesting. There's so much that goes into the targeting and these analytics and all the data in the back end that really, really, really matters. And it's more people need you. You want it to be a superpower. You got all those numbers. You want it to be a profit center, and people's eyes glaze over. I know you started this whole thing with a drink because you were worried. I get a little excited and animated about it. No, it's good that you do.
But it's meant to. We didn't collect it just to collect it. We collected it to use it.
Right.
So.
And if no one else is doing what you're doing, and you're proving successful with all the businesses that you've been working with, then you've got something going on that more restaurants and businesses in general, not even just hospitality, or not restaurants. And
I think I just have a soft spot for restaurants.
Yeah.
We started with so many, and we're just really good at it.
Do you have you said you worked at iPick, but do you have a background in restaurant work? Like, have you worked at any other restaurants before?
I mean, besides the dozens of clients that we have now,
Have you worked in a restaurant?
No, not in a restaurant.
Okay.
No. I have always been, but the thing is my role within these restaurant hospitality organizations is I'm on the phone with the chief operating officer every day.
Right.
Every
You're
day.
in it.
And then the chief marketing officer. Like, I'm their best friends.
Yes.
Because they're asking me these questions, and I'm like the one giving them all that information.
The marketing campaigns and all of that is based on the information that your company is giving them, and that you're analyzing for them and kind of directing them in the right direction, putting them in the right direction.
Yeah, I think the fact that I was always straddling between, the finance department and all these other departments, helping all these people, brings my credibility. And what we talked about earlier about, like, look, I'm not here to just reduce your labor. I'm here to maximize your profitability, and I'm keeping my eye on that customer satisfaction. That immediately brings me credibility. They're like, wait, this guy isn't just some random nerdy finance guy. Like, he actually understands what we're trying to accomplish.
You don't just care about the numbers, you care about the people. And that makes a huge difference. You're there.
Think about it this way. Our labor systems take into account what is a livable wage, right? Maybe the optimal, if I didn't fix for it, maybe our labor system would say, oh, this person should come in at 2:00 and leave at 3:15. Nobody can do that. That's not a real shift.
No.
That's not a livable wage. So we actually factor that in to make sure that we're at least giving whatever the restaurant specifies. They say, okay, no, everybody has to work an 8-hour shift. Okay, fine. You've given me that criteria. Like, it will get plugged into the system.
So it's very specific to what each restaurant or entity or business at all of the specifics. It's
down to the employee
customized
level.
for each business.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's where a major distinguishing factor of us is every system we build is white glove custom built to that restaurant.
Wow.
I'm not out there like taking a piece of software off the shelf and saying, here you go.
Right.
We start literally from scratch every time.
Wow.
And that means that report is perfect for this restaurant or perfect for that restaurant.
Right. It's not a one size fits all.
Because everybody's data looks different when you get into it. We are all kind of doing the same thing. We are running a restaurant, but there's just those differences, and those little differences are so important to each restaurant.
I think that right there is your selling point.
Yeah.
That's like what I asked earlier. What's your pitch? What's your selling point? That every program is customized to each business, to each restaurant or hotel or whoever you're working with, and everything is specific to what they need. Yes. Because what one restaurant needs is different than another restaurant is different than that, and then that, and then that. No one's built the same. We all need different things, and all have different audiences and different marketing strategies and goals and all of that. So I think that's a really amazing part of your business, and also so intricate on your end. Like, wow.
Yeah, well, the job titles are going to be different. The sales categories are going to be different. How you look at your business is going to be different. Like, that does not lend itself to one size fits all.
Right.
It is not a one size fits
wouldn't
all
work.
scenario.
And there's so many programs out there that are like that, where it's just, here's a software, you plug it in, like a POS system or whatever.
Yeah,
like they're all like,
you hope it works.
You hope it works. You hope maybe you have a couple things where you're like, we don't need that, but we really need this part. And then, but it's
the 80-20 rule, right? That point of sale is doing 80% of what you want, but that last 20% that you really care about is missing.
I feel like I've heard that. It's on the topic of POS systems, like that when have a certain sale or something, they're like, well, we don't have a button on our POS system for that.
Yeah. Oh, but we'll make it for you. Yeah, when? That's the problem. Is they're like, oh,
they have to like figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna get Toast to customize this for us. I'm like, okay, well, you call me in a few months when they haven't done that because they're not in that business, nor are they looking at. Okay, to me, it's what are they asking for? What are the 5 other things they're supposed to be looking at? That's again that finance brain versus just a piece of software.
And that's people are. When they sign up with you and your software, they're signing up with your brain.
They're signing up with.
They get you and your expertise and your ability to customize and really understand what each place needs and help them achieve it and then some, go above and beyond. And I think that's really admirable. Very cool. Very interesting. Like, I feel like my mind has been. I said you were going to school me today, so I feel like I've learned a lot.
I've done my best.
Yeah. No, it was really cool to have you. Okay. I'm glad that you could come out here and hang with me here at Dada. I'm glad to know that you like this restaurant as much as I do.
Yeah.
It is a fantastic spot. Is there any final thoughts you'd like to share with my audience?
That kind of what I said earlier. I genuinely want to help people. So if you just literally have a question and you're just like, I just want to bounce some ideas off you, you can tell I'm passionate about it. I'm happy to hop on a call with someone.
How do people find you?
Email, website.
What's your website?
Website is www.skyline-analytics. There is a dash in the middle there, .com.
Okay.
Anybody can.
And all your contact information is on that website and find you. So if anybody, again, if you own a business and you have any questions about your profitability and your just anything, really.
Yeah.
Chris is here to help you and walk you through it and see what kind of work you can do together. Skyline-analytics.com. Cool. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you
to Dada for having us. And thank you to everybody for listening and tuning in. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Leave me a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere that you listen to your podcasts. And I hope to see you next time.